afternoon, and welcome to our program on the human skeleton. I'm Bee Yench, and with me here is Eric Hirschman.
Today, we will be talking about the human skeleton and the different bones that make up that skeleton.
First, we will examine the different classifications of bones. They are classified by shape. The 4 different types of shapes include the long bone, the short bone, the flat bone, and the irregular bone. A long bone is a bone that is longer than it is wide. One example of a long bone is the femur, which is located at the upper portion of the leg. The next type of bone is the short bone, which is classified as being about as wide as it is long. An example of a short bone is the carpal, which is located at the base of the hand. The next type of bone is the flat bone. The flat bones are flat, and one example is the sternum, which is located here. The final classification of bone by shape are the irregular bones. And these bones are irregular because their shape does not fit into any other classifications. And one prime example of an irregular bone are the vertebrae.
Next, we will show examples of the epiphysis and the diaphysis. The epiphysis are the ends of the bone which are covered with hyaline cartilage. This section of bone contains spongy bone and red bone marrow. The diaphysis is the bone shaft. It is made up of compact bone, and this contains yellow bone marrow and fat.
The trochanter is located at the end of the femur and is a large, irregularly shaped, blunt process, and the trochanters are only found on the femur. Tubercle is used to attach tendons to the bone and protrudes off the bone.
Another type of projections are joint projections. 2 of the joint projections are the ramus and the condyle. The condyle is at the end of the bone and is used for articulation with other bones. Generally, the bone is rounded for easy articulation. The ramus is an irregularly shaped bone and forms an angle with the body. When it connects with the body, it forms a joint.
2 types of depressions or openings are the meatus and foramen. The meatus is an opening of a canal. One example of a meatus is the external auditory meatus. A foramen is an opening through a bone. The largest example of a foramen is the foramen magnum. It is located in the occipital bone and is a circular hole.
Axial bones consist of the skull bones, the vertebral column, and the rib cage. 3 examples of axial bones are the cranium, the mandible, and the sternum. The cranium is made up of the frontal bone, 2 parietal bones, 2 temporal bones,
The sphenoid bone, the ethmoid bone,
the occipital bone. Another bone that is included in the axial skeleton is the mandible, which is located by the chin.
The appendicular skeleton consists of the scapula, the clavicle, the arms, the pelvic girdle, and the legs. 4 of these bones include the clavicle, the ulna, the patella, the femur. Everyone has 2 clavicles, which attach to both the breastplate and the shoulder blades. The ulna is a bone in the arm, and when in the anatomical position is the lower bone. The patella is the kneecap, and it protects the knee from injury. The final bone that will be shown is the femur. The femur is the thigh bone, and it is proximal to the pelvic bone, or the hip bone.
Compact bone is a dense, smooth-looking, homogeneous bone. Here's an example of compact bone located on the outside layer of the bone. spongy bone is composed of small pieces of bone and lots of open space. An example of spongy bone is in the inside layer of the bone located here.
Articular cartilage is a glossy hyaline cartilage that provides a smooth surface with very little friction to make movement easy. An example of articular cartilage can be located here, on the knee joint. One classifying trait of hyaline cartilage is its shiny, glossy appearance. Ligaments are long, fibrous tissues that connect bones to other bones. An example of a ligament is located here on the knee joint. I think he needs help. You should get that checked out. This concludes our presentation on the human skeleton system.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you!